Hello friends and hello student. My name is Ashok Sijala. In this session, we learn the nesting classes in C++. So here I share my laptop screen and fix the position so you can watch better way my video lecture. And here Turbo C++ is there. I double click and take some process. Yes, and now is open. Alter F file menu and taking new file. And here our goal nest classes like nested member and that also called the containership. Yes, that one word is there, containership. So like a hazen is a some that relationship is there. So that also known as a container. Yes, correct the spelling. Container, yes, ship. So that is perfect. So that nesting like member and that containership. So that is also one concept of inheritance, but different type means we can public and private and protect that derivation or that derive one class to other class or one class in several number of classes like single inheritance, multiple, multi-path, multi-level, and hierarchical hybrid. So that six type of inheritance, but that is a containership. One class is a object of other class, and that is a several that all class that object is a refer to that container class. So that is a container or nesting of classes. So let us start with help of one example. So yes, first I include our header file iostream.h, yes, and then conio console input output. So yes, very simple example I give. So first class, so like in derived classes I give same example, but here I can take different means that containership nesting of class. So here I define there are two tab because here is a private section, public and private. So I define the public section and then constructor I use. So integer one parameter a and initialize to our x variable. There are only one member. And then here I print directly show method. So here yes show and just print only one line our x variable. So x value is yes, and then just print x and l. And also we can define like in our constructor in derived class that type we can give the message in constructor. So here we can also message. So how that the call of sequence containership. So we can declaration of that sequence that follow like in our inheritance we can declaration of a first class second class that sequence that follow, and here declaration of object sequence that follow that same manner. So here we can say that first uh, class constructor. So, okay, and here also provide the and app. So yes, our first class is ready. Only one member, and that is not important. Here our importance goal is a containership. How the one class is a object is a member of other class that known as a containership. So here that concept is a nesting classes or containership. Yes, that also called the containership. So here I define the second class. Yes, and here that y, and here constructor change the second class, and here I give the b and y equal to b, and here we can change the message also second class. So that is all are perfect, and here also y and change the second class is ready, simple. We can edit and I save first this file. So that is a nesting. Yes, so nesting of class that called cls. Okay, so maximum we can give the 8 characters. So here is a underscore is 8, so 4 and 4 8 character. So nesting classes that mean nested. Okay, so now that ready, and now we cannot inherit any class like here that first is a separate class and second is a second class is also separate class, and then I copy this second again, I mean so that second class, and we can design the third class. Yes, So how it's, yes sir. So here that is a third class, and here I define the different variable like p and q. Okay, and then that parameter third. So here we can take like first a, and then b is there. So yes, b is already there. So I give here integer c and then integer d. So here we can here give the like the third class constructor. Okay, and here first initialize to p equal to c, last two parameters of its class. And here that is new thing for you. Yes, here our member is a declare, we have to like p and q, but before I declare the first class object f1 and then second class object s1, so that is a known as a container ship. Yes, here is a I comment line container ship, that is known as a container ship. So one class that is a different way, like we can define taking the inheritance. Here I public and then our first class and second class, that here I can just show you. So now that and by default is a private inheritance, so I just show you. So that is, but that is a different, and that is a that also inheritance container ship, that also part of the inheritance but different way. So here I remove this, and that is a follow this sequence. So all object of third class that follow the these two. So collection of object that known as here, F first class and second class object, and third class all object that refer the F1 and S2 because that private member, and that is a private. So we can handle the public member only. Okay, and how that constructor we have to call. So that is a syntax like same our derived class, and that all list parameter like argument one and argument, and we can call and assign to our first base class. But here we can use the object, and that implicit calling the our like I pass a, so that first class x is initialized and s1, and then pass to b, so that call that constructor one parameterized. So that is a here directly comma same signature like in our inheritance, but here we can give that uh, class name, and here we can give the object name. Yes, so that is a difference. So like first or that inheritance we can follow the sequence like here give the first, yes, I give the like examples of first and pass to that constructor like we can pass to our variable a, and second that second class, so that is we can pass the b. But here is a not like let us check that also, and but I declare the main. Yes, that main is remaining last our function, and we can just declare our first clear the screen. Yes, and then get ch is also in between. We can give some our like third class object, and that t1, and pass four parameter argument like sequence. So 20 20 10 20 30 40. Okay, and then t1 dot show. Yes, that the memory show is there. So I just call yes, and no any other require. So yes, I compile, but that I think yes, let us error is there because first is a not base class of third. Base class is not container ship, is a different way. So here second class and that default constructor undefined y. Yes, here we cannot. Yes, I just copy. So here we can show not y. Yes, here is also required to change. So here p and q we have to print. So here I print the p, and then again one and q. Yes, and handle is not required because that is last. Okay, so here that type I just show you, that is error. So how we can call. So object, yes, object is a container ship, so we can pass s1 and a, and then same way s2 and then b. So that is I think let us check now is no any error. Yes, so third s2, yes, here I give the s2 but s1 is object name. Yes, not 2. So yes, yes, t1. Yes, so some typing mistake is there. Now is there is, and d is never used. Yes, we can, yes, here we can initialize C and C. Yes, both are C. I initialize. Here I give the D. So then that is also initialized. That give warning, not any error. So I solve by all error and all warning. So that is a nesting class exe file is generated. And let us check the sequence of constructors. So I think first we can declare the first class object in our third class. So here is a first class declaration order that follows. So that is a first and that is a second, and then turn to itself means that third class initialize that its member. So now let us check how it's print. So yes, all are print, but here only P and Q value is displayed. So and also that is a concatenation. So here we can give the separate that both are print in one. So here yes, I give one blank or and I'll also colon set W also use set with. Okay, yes, how we can print the X because here is a container ship. So how to call here? We cannot call like here. I give the idea. So here we can like T1 dot show again, and that like in first class in our previous public and private like here is a duplicate name. Show is a so we can give the class name and solve our ambiguity. So let us check that work or not. I think not work because that is a not a member because nesting is a different than inheritance. Yes, that is giving the error. First is a not a public class of third and that public member is not there. Public derivation is not there. So that is a want work that technique. So how we can call to our show of first class and second. This technique is not work. So our second technique, yes, that definitely works. So here in our constructor or show, yes, here is a show. So that is a private member. Public member directly takes. So S1 show I call here, and then S1 dot show. So that is a private, but public member write to private member. So S1 and S2 is object, but that is a third class as a member of that class, and that is a private member. So show is a public member of that same class, and that is a handle. So public member we can call that public member object through that handle. So here main is not possibility. We can call to any show of first class and second class. Okay. So now that is let us check. Yes, no any error, and let us yes all are print X, Y, and then P and Q both we can print in one all. So an order you have to follow first class constructor, second and third, and let us check change the order. How to change the order? So here we cannot use virtual keyword. So, but here I just swift, I cut and paste to second class first object declaration. So we can prove that follow the declaration order or not. So here I first declare the second class S1 object to a third class member, private member, and then first class member. So that is called containership. Yes. So let us check that work. Yes, but sequence is different. Let us that follow the declaration order. First class constructor, then second class and first class, second class, first class, and third class. So here we cannot change order. Here look our first class we can call first, but after all that is a call the second class constructor first because we can change the order to here that follow the declaration order. That is a very important in this point, and that syntax is very important. Here we can use previously our inheritance concept, we can use the class name, but now here is the object name because object is a member and that is a containership, and that is also inheritance part, nesting of classes and containership that is called. Okay, so very simple, and you can also X, Y, and that here I give the static value, but you can also scan A, B, C, D for integer value and scan from user. There is no problem. There is no require because we have to know just focus on how nesting or containership is work. Okay, so value is a different, doesn't matter in this session. So here we can, that is an important declaration order and that how to calling, and here we can, that is important, here we can call that member in object. So object is a private of that third class member, and here we can call the public member of that private means that show, and call first class show and second class show because that is a object is private, but that member is a public in their class. Okay, and that object is totally right because that is a public. If you define the private here show, then that is a want to work, means public member is also only rights. If you here give the private show in that part, so that is a do not rights to call object to private member. That is again does. So here we cannot define the private or protect is but object is also not right protect member. So only one way is there public you have to define member is. Okay, so that is a containership is a and has a some relationship that is also, and here is a containership. Okay, so nesting of classes that known as a nesting of classes and containership. So yes, I think very simple. So yes, write this first class, only one member, one parameterized constructor, and we can initialize and give the message show print only X, and same second class Y, one parameterized constructor assigned to Y to B and then message and show function print to Y. In third class, there are very important part. We can declare the two class our containership means nesting. It is also concept of inheritance containership, and then that normal variable integer p and q and four parameter constructor two itself and two is a that base class means that containership class, and third class constructor message and show here is also important, that is a object right to public member, but object is a private. Yes, here is a object is a private, member is a public of first class and second class, show member is I can say that you. So show member is a public, but object itself is a private. So we can handle only public member of the third class. So here main is not right to call that show method because that is a not right because that is a outside of that is a private main function or object of third class. So public member also right only private means that object is a private. So yes, I close this session very simple containership, and that is a also different way that is also in inheritance container and nesting of classes that known as nesting of classes. So yes, simple way I define to you how this concept. Okay. So close this file, yes, and quit. So yes, subscribe my channel Ashok Sijal icon, press the bell icon to never miss any update. Thanks for your watching, supporting, and sharing my video lecture. And Hare Krishna.